Hi guys, this is Ms. Smithfield and I'm talking to you about your project for Spanish 1. So first of all, let's start off with the project description. You'll see that right there in front of you, complete with rubric. And Mrs. Smithfield's role is to make sure you have high quality resources and that you cite them properly in a works consulted page. For many of you, this will be your very first time making a works consulted page, but I promise you it will not be your last. In Spanish, you do a project every 9 weeks and you always have a works consulted page. So how do we do this? So you see the information that you need, and that is provided on the notes page. So you'll be filling out your notes page and you'll be collecting those citations. But then you'll also be putting the citations separately on a works consulted page. So let's start. So here's the LibGuide for this project, and it's full of many very wonderful resources. The one that you're primarily going to be using is biography and context. Notice that the password is given to you. So if you click on it, you enter your password, the password that was given to you. If you go to Browse People, and you click on the category, and you go to Hispanic-Americans, you're going to see a list of people, and then you'll be selecting people from here that you're interested in. And, obviously, when your person you get will come from here. So let's say that I'm doing Carlos Santana. I would click on his name. And the first thing you're going to see is a kind of some featured content there. Some reference, some news, and some magazines. And you will likely refer to more than one of these articles, okay? So we're going to come back to that in just a minute, but let's go back to the LibGuide for a minute, and I will show you something important here. Okay, so you'll notice that there are 3 tabs. There's the Home tab, which has all these great resources on it. So feel free to use any of the other resources on here. They can also be really great, but biography and context, there's a good chance you're going to find everything you need in there. You also have a page on MLA citations. So here's what that page is, and what that page has is some information about what MLA citations should look like. Now this is very important. This is what your works consulted page should look like. So you'll notice in this please check section that everything's double space. It's alphabetized with a hanging indent. That means that after the first line, that's indented. And your title is actually, in this case, going to be Works Consulted, okay? So your title is going to be that, but everything else is going to be like just here. You also have a page for getting started with EasyBib. So the first thing Ms. Smithfield is going to ask you to do is to sign up for your EasyBib account. You're going to click on this and register. Ms. Smithfield has paid money for you to have a subscription. Okay, it's important that coupon code is in there, so we'll make sure we get that done. All right. You will notice that I am at EasyBib and I have logged in, and you can tell I've logged in because I can see my name at the top. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press a plus beside a new project, and I'm going to call this Hispanic-American Research. Okay. Now MLA is what I want, so that's correct, and I hit create. At that point, it's going to create a project folder for me that I'm going to find very, very handy. And so I'm going to be in the bibliography for this. All right. So I noticed in the bibliography, if I was just looking up a website and it did not have the citation, I would be able to put in the information and fill out as much as possible, including the sponsor. But in this case, I'm pretty lucky because let's say I use this article. So as far as figuring out which ones to use, I'm going to pick the one that's most recent. So in this case, I'm starting with my reference, and I can expand that by clicking there. I can even sort it by the date. So I'm going to have the latest one at the top, and that's pretty helpful. You don't want to, I have a variety of choices here. So I want to get something, so if I got something from 2000, even though it was updated in 2008, that's a long time ago. So I'm going to get this article from 2013, excuse me. And so, wow, okay, it appears that Carlos Santana has a very interesting history here. So I would use this article to, definitely find out more about him. And as I'm filling out my sheet, I would need to get the citation from it. And I find the citation over here. I click on Citation Tools, and it says MLA 7th edition. And I copy that. Then, watch carefully, I go over to EasyBib, and I do not paste it there because it is not a website, okay? This is a complete citation. I do not need to recreate the citation. I click on all 59 options, Write Paste Citation. And I paste it in there. And I create it. And then what I do is I double check it. So I'm going to go back here, and then to double check it, I say, ooh, that's italicized, and biography and context is italicized. And I say, ooh, are these two things italicized? They are. So yay. Okay, I've done that. All right, so you can also export it to there, but sometimes people have trouble doing that. So I always just show people how to cut and paste. All right, so let's go back here, and we will notice many other articles on him. And so if I still haven't found enough information, I would continue on from there. Now, as I'm on my notes page, and so let's say I found out that he was born, wherever that was, I would just paste in that citation there. So wherever notes I'm getting from there, I'm just pasting in over here. Because your notes page, you'll turn that in, one notes page. Feel free to take extra space. If I need to hit enter, I will. But that's the easiest way to keep up with your citation of sources as far as right there. Okay, so now I might need to go back and continue to find different informations. So notice it's saying that Santana is still smooth, so maybe I read something on here and I find out one of his characteristics. Once again, I'm going to get those citation. I'm going to get those citation formats. I'm going to go to all 59 options because it's given me the citation. I'm going to paste that in and make sure it's all correct and hit that. Okay, now this is very important. Because when you're done, watch what I do. So let's say I have two sources, all right? And I've double checked them and they compare with what was on when I clicked on Citation Tools, okay? So I'm now ready to print it, okay? But people mess this up all the time. To print, you export from EasyBib. So I click on Export, Print as a Word doc. Download for Word. Open, and wait for it, okay, then it alphabetizes it, it puts it in the correct order, it does your hanging indent. All I need to do now is change the title from Works Cited to Works Consulted, and then I would write my name up at the top. That's not, you need to write your name on it because Ms. Smithfield's grading it. But that would be it. Everything's done, so everything's great. So that is really, for the part that I'm grading, that is exactly what you do. It's not hard. Ms. Smithfield's here to help you. She'll be writing notes for you to come in during 5th period or whenever your IS is, and that's what she'll grade. Everyone should get 100 because there will be a deadline, and you can show it to her anytime or email it to her or text her questions. And she will check it for you and she will sign off on it when it's perfect. But unless you bring it to her, she can't sign off on it to say it's perfect. And then you may get a bad grade. So don't do that. Get a good grade because you're going to show it to me ahead of time, right? Okay, any questions, talk to Ms. Smithfield. But that's how you make your Works Consulted page, and that is also how you fill in your notes page.